All right. How's everyone doing today? So today is the first design therapy session of 2022. Um, I'm excited to be here with you guys. I'm excited to get this thing started. We have been in a hiatus of sorts for a while we plan the next stages for our community. And we're excited to finally get back into the swing of things. Design therapy was sort of our inaugural broadcast. It was one of the primary sessions that really brought us together and really helped us discover each other and what we love about each other and ourselves. And yeah, it was sort of like the spiritual undercurrent for for the system. So we're excited to be back and excited to kick this thing off. You know, your facilitators for today are myself, Keone Chong. We've got Mary and Jose that are hanging around. But I do want to make this point, and I want to make it early and clear that um, our jobs as facilitators is to open the door for for those of you here in the audience and those that are participating in helping build this wonderful community that we call the system. The goal is for you to step into this role. Um, the goal is for you to be able to dive in here and to really lead the spirit of design therapy. And so, moving forward, you're going to see less of Keone, Mary, and Jose in this space, and you'll see us more in a supporting role. And each of you guys that are here, you guys will have the opportunity to step into this space and to lead and to grow and to discover. So, hello and welcome wherever in the world you are to where we are. Our community is global, and we take great pride in that. And I think it's one of the unspoken strengths of our community is the ability for us to come together from all of these different unique places and cultural experiences and background and ages, and be able to grow together. Um, I'm grateful for it, and I think it's something that really makes our community special. So let's kind of recap where we are right now and what the goal is of design therapy and the system. We're really here to activate you guys here as creative leaders globally to tackle society's biggest challenges through design, to leverage Web3 technology, and to do it through community. We see a future where creatives are empowered behind, the skills of design and development, strategy, and business to really transform our planet, to transform our culture, to transform the way that we as a species interact and live and build and create. The core of everything that we do is co-creation. And we exemplify it in our broadcasts and all of the work that we're doing. If you're catching this broadcast as a replay and you're interested in learning a little bit more behind the strategic approach to a lot of the work that we do, you can check us out at coresmagic.com. And of course, we invite you to like and subscribe wherever you're at. Comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear how, some of these ideas that we share and discuss impact you and impact your world. So let's dive into our agenda for today. We're going to do a drop in for about 15 minutes. And, it's sort of our standard for the way that we like to facilitate our gatherings. And we just like to connect with you guys and see where you're at. We're going to dive into the download. Then we're going to get into story shares. We're going to finish with the upload. And then, of course, the after hours hang, which is music and no cookies, or maybe music and cookies. I don't know. I'm feeling like a cookie today. It's Friday. So let's just recap real quick and let's walk through what our schedule is going to be going to look like for the next couple weeks. And this is our season 1 schedule. So as you can see, we alternate on our Friday sessions. So they will alternate between design therapy and office hours. all the way through the end of season 1. We're going to also bring together a lot of folks in the Accelerator program, those that have graduated as well, to come on board. So that is something to expect as these things develop. So thank you so much for the drop-in kind of overviews, where we're at, the schedule, all the admin-y things. But now we're going to drop in. So for our drop-in, the question is going to be your name, location, what do you do, and who is your favorite master character from the movies? And I'll model that. My name is Keone. I'm located in sunny downtown LA. What do? I am a culture strategist. So NFT and culture and education and onboarding is my jam. Who's my favorite master character from the movies? Really great question, Jose. I had to think about it, but if I had to choose, it would be Daisuke Aramaki, who is the head of Section 9 in Ghost in the Shell. He is this older gentleman that looks very incognito. Nobody suspects him as a threat. But he is a consummate badass, and he uses his ability to plan and to understand information and to bring together teams to solve a lot of the challenges in Ghost in the Shell. By far one of my favorite masters characters from a movie. And I'm gonna go ahead and hand this off, and let's go with Brian. What's up, brother?
Hey, everybody. My name is Brian Jimenez. I am located near Los Angeles, California. I am a brand strategist looking to hopefully transfer over to culture strategy, and also a creative director and a podcast producer. My favorite movie master, I would have to say, is Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi, I think, had the quality of being able to help his students to see the greater purpose in the everyday things that they were doing, and was able to kind of really help his students to open their eyes to the reality of the things that they were being taught, even though it wasn't always apparent, which is very, very much like the way that I think, is always kind of looking beyond the surface and being very aware, or trying to be very aware. So with that, I am complete. Let's take it to Ioana.
Thank you, Brian. Hi, I'm Ioana Balcan, and I'm from Romania. And we do a lot of things. Like, I've heard Papa say this, that he's many things. So the same, we're starting to dive deeper into product management. We offer brand development and architecture, and we work with regenerative and web-free brands. And my favorite character before there was a Mr. Miyagi, if you guys remember The Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. So the master was so famous for his technique and his skill that people ran away just by hearing his name. And it's not because he was drunk. That's funny, granted. But the idea is that things that might seem hard, mundane, repeatable, those were the things that helped you achieve mastery or be good at what you do. So that's why I appreciated, this particular master. And I pick Sergio and his companion Roberto, that's making a comeback.
Thank you. Sergio Ariza from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm a generalist, workshopper, strategist, everything in between. Really interested into organization design. and incentives design. And my favorite master, it's not from a movie, it's from a series. It's Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's it. I'm going to pass it to Patricia, actually, yeah.
Thank you, Sario. For me, mine would be, I'm Patricia Maliksi. I'm a brand strategist and flow facilitator. And did I say where from? I'm from Manila, Philippines. And the character that I like is Fa Mulan. I've watched that Mulan Disney for like, I don't know. I love her feminine energy, that what she fought for and how she kind of uphold the family honor, and like even if she's a girl, it didn't stop her from and proving everyone wrong. So I think that's what and the power that she has as a female in proving that in like the older times. So yeah, that's it. Fa Mulan. Who do I choose next? Roberto Fuente.
Thank you, Patricia. My name is Roberto Puente. I am from Venezuela, but I now live in Barcelona, Spain. What I do a lot of things, mostly web design and create funnels for marketing stuff. And my favorite character or my favorite master, I really like Master Owe from Kung Fu Panda, because he have one of my favorite quotes about living in the present. And yeah, that's the master I like. So who is left?
I think Michael has yet to go. And before you come up, let's get a couple that were in the chat. We've got Christina, who's checking in from Ontario, Canada. She's a brand designer and illustrator. Movie master. For her, that was a hard one. Ronan Daimel, aka Jose Caballer. As captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, Luffy has the greatest authority over increasingly powerful and diverse crew consisting of several infamous members, many of whom are extremely powerful in their own right. Luffy has a great amount of influence over his crew, so much so that the members of his crew all trust him with their lives, both in spite of his reckless behavior and in some cases even because of it. I love that, Jose. Really, really powerful. So let's go ahead, Michael. Why don't you jump in? And again, to remind everyone, the drop-in question is, who is your favorite master character from the movies?
Hi, everyone. I'm in Los Angeles, or 50 miles south of Los Angeles. And what I do is illustration and fine art. I'm writing a book now called Predators and Prey. So, what did I say? I publish, I forget, I lost the little blurb. But anyway, the master of movies. That was hard for me, but I came up with one of my favorite movies, 2001. And the master in that movie is the big black monolith. Every time it shows up, it changes humanity and it evolves to another level. So that's my pick.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Michael. Anthony, would you like to hop in and join us?
Sure. Hi, how's it going? I'm not going to be on video. I'm Anthony. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm now in Tennessee. I've known Jose for a long time. Master for me, it's hard to pick one that's like a fictional one, but for me, it would probably be Horace Gracie, reality one, just because he was like a smaller guy. He was able to conquer all these bigger guys, and I think that's kind of like the fight that we struggle with. We're like these little small engines that could, and we're trying to take over all these bigger agencies and provide more value. So I think that's kind of why I really enjoy Horace Gracie a lot.
Thank you, Anthony. Really great. really special. We have Christina, Adri, and Arsa. Would any of you guys like to step in?
I'll go. I'm Adriana Gonzalez. I'm from Mexico. I'm discovering myself more as a facilitator. So, and community builder for now. I mean, I'm starting my journey on that, and I'm very, very happy about having the opportunity because of core for that. So I think my character master will be Alejandro Jodorowsky in Sacred Mountain. It's a story about trying to find enlightenment, and it's how they go into different layers and they want to conquer 7, or I don't know if it was 7 or 6 planets, and at the end they just understood that everything that we have inside us is enlightenment. So it's just a matter of finding insight, so we can just find that inside us, so we can share that, and that light can even be greater for everyone. So yeah, that's me. I'm complete, and I choose Christina, if that's okay, or I don't know. Yeah, it's Christina.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, Christina, I think she is. She dropped in the chat, so she couldn't go. How about Arsa?
Yeah.
So, Arsenia is from Belgrade, Serbia, currently in Mexico. What's my favorite character? I think it's Uhtred from The Last Kingdom, because it's never kind of choosing side, but it is always kind of trying to fight for the right thing. And in the spirit of Jose's name today, also he's kind of in that age, samurai without master. He is kind of trying not to belong to the one or the other side, but kind of to be on the opposite end. And I'm complete, and I think we close the circle.
Sweet. Thank you so much for that, Artha.
Did Jinder go?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ginder. Hop on up here.
Hi everyone. I have to thank Michael, because I always wonder what happened with that monolith, and humanity changes and evolves in 2001. It's funny because I was discussing the movie and I'm thinking, why's that block turning up? You know, and then it's in outer space. That is so cool. This is the coolest place to be, honestly. So I'm Jinder, and I'm a UX strategist based in London. The main character I'd pick is Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, because I've watched it since I was a kid, and it's a fun musical, but it goes deep in many levels. So whenever I watch it, it's always different, and it doesn't matter, you know, like if she wants to go back home, but or find a way home. But the truth is, home was always there. It's always something that was always inside you. So when you see like little babies, they're vibrating at a higher level. So it's just sort of like, oh yeah, that's so deep, that is. So it's like, oh yeah. And then it's the classic Joseph Campbell and the friends she hung out with, you know, like, you know, one thought, you know, he didn't have a heart or the right brains, or one didn't think he was brave enough, but we all got that in ourselves. So that's the one I pick.
Thank you so much for that, Ginder. That was wonderful. And how could we close the circle without Ginder? What are we doing? We've got Ismail in the chat as well. You know, we welcome you to drop in as well. Drop in, you can just drop it in the chat, and I'll make sure that, you know, we share that and we get to that. So let's talk a little bit about today's session and today's download. So the download is sort of like, you know, it's quotes, it's a phrase, it's a mindset, and it really is about what we're trying to really cover for today in terms of a theme. And so the download for today is about teams. It's about community. The strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. And this is Phil Jackson. So this is a dude that played with Michael Jordan, the GOAT, Kobe. Then he went to the New York Knicks with Carmelo Anthony, and that fell to the side, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about teams and team building. And to me, this is something that really resonates with me because I actually learned team building through team sports, specifically basketball. You know, and growing up when you're like super talented and you're just like the man, and you just think like, oh yeah, Kobe, Jordan, all of these things. But as I got older, I really started to understand that having a team with individuals that had their own requisite skills, their own requisite talent, their own identities, and is invested in the team, in the community, in everybody winning, in success, in, you know, community abundance. That's where the magic really happens, you know, and that concept is really about us being able to teach each other, us being able to share the values that we have, and to really help lead through our experiences, through our knowledge, and through our talent. So let's talk a little bit about today's theme. And as a whole, today is just going to be open and sharing. But today's theme is about reconnection. You know, it's been 4 months. It's been a while since the Accelerator program has gone on. You know, we're all trying to build the foundations to set, you know, a place for our community to grow. But, you know, we still need to remain connected. And so today's theme is about reconnecting. So I'm just going to remind you guys about our rules. And our rules are as such. We don't give advice. So we won't tell anybody that we should do it this way or we should do it that way. What we do is we talk about how we have done it for ourselves. So if I were in that situation, or when I have been in that situation, here's how I would approach the challenge, and then share it from your perspective. Next is to speak from the I. And this is because we want to share just from primary or secondary experience. So I did it like this, or I saw it executed like this. We want to try to step away from as much speculation as possible. And we want to lead with authenticity. So, you know, these are the goals. They're the, what are they called, Jose? They're the Gestalt, yes, protocol for engagement. So yeah, so those are the rules, and let's just get into it, you guys. Let's talk a little bit about reconnection. What is the things that some of you guys are looking most to about reconnecting in 2022? And let's start there.
Or what do you miss from design therapy that you want to engage?
And I'll open up the floor, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that I miss. You know, there's something to be said for having a community that you can share with openly, and know that you're accepted, know that there's no judgment, and knowing that someone there, or the community there, is there to help you to move beyond some of the challenges. I think a lot of challenges that I've endured personally, you know, I was able to lean on a lot of the experiences of those here in the community, both from elders like Jose and from, you know, the young upstarts like Patricia, you know, and Sergio. You know, the ability to see how the different ways in which folks are solving their problems, and the ability to just to reach out and connect and just hang. Hey, let's hop on Discord. Let's have a glass of wine. You know, those kind of engagements, the ability to connect with each other was super, super important. And it's something that I'm looking forward to.
I have some ideas, there's things to say here.
Go for it, Michael.
So it's great to be back after I think 4 months. So what I missed was what you were doing. I thought was brilliant, and actually filled a huge missing link when you came up with the origin stories. And so over these 4 months, I've been writing my book that has a lot of cartoons and comics in it. And I joined this other group called Sequential Artist Network. And so I've learned a lot from this book. And it's about telling stories. And then Keone's book that he mentioned called Superman on the Couch, I actually ordered it, but I haven't picked it up from where my mail goes. But what I noticed.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I thought my mic went out.
Oh, okay. Well, what I noticed that's really powerful, I feel like it's important to take our origin story, extract those themes, and then do like a 4 or 6 panel comic based on it, and then just stick it up on the wall. Because what I've seen is how it really connects people. And then we have like this quick visual deliverable that we can just sit there and look at, and our mind will keep refining it. That's another thing I learned, how the mind works when it's at rest. So when we're just chill or we're sleeping, we're actually taking all this stuff and putting it together in a meaningful way. And so that's why I'm here, is to maybe bring that to the group. And then also I came up with that presentation for Jose called Dynamic Identity that I never shared. So that's been sitting there and I never did anything with it. So I'd like to bring that back and see what people think. And so that's what I've got. That's
Awesome.
it.
Thank you so much for that share, Michael. And it looks like it's opening the door for the conversation. Pape, dive on in, brother.
Pape?
Pape, did we lose you, brother? Oh, we might have lost Pape. While Pape's getting situated, Brian, you want to hop in?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I think, mention that the reconnection for me, I think is or at least what I'm looking to get out of reconnection is to have the sum of the parts, the whole be greater than the sum of its parts. And so some of us who have worked independent or in a sense by ourselves are able to do a certain amount of things, reach a certain amount of success or a certain amount of satisfaction in our work or balance in our life, work life. But I think working as a collaborative team, those of us who have done things like team sports and things like that, or have worked in other collaborative spaces, there's things that are unlocked that sometimes are very hard to access when you're working independently on your own. And so for myself personally, this is something that I've seen that working with others and collaborating unlocks an energy for me that is very hard to access on my own. And so part of it is because I'm very social. I'm kind of one of those extroverted creatives, but it unlocks for me a different type of energy. And so it's really important for me to try to continue reconnecting and find ways to collaborate with a community as opposed to just working independently all the time.
Ryan, thank you so much for that share. And I dig that, right? Collaboration is a key to a lot of our vibes and awesomeness that we have going on here. And this is something that, we can definitely look at down the line. I had an opportunity to join a co-working community at the beginning of the pandemic. And that was a huge emotional, just personal, just every day knowing that I could just hop into a chat and connect with people that I knew, that I trusted, that I could relate with, and just if I needed to just pop out of work and just connect for a minute or even just ask for help or development, it was an awesome resource. And I'd love to continue that and to put something like that for the system. So thank you for that share, brother. Pape, you're up next, bro.
Thank you, Keone. Yes, and actually, I was thinking about what Michael was sharing and about stories, and I think something that happened that was really powerful at the beginning was everyone sharing their hero's journey. And I remember sharing each individual journey and realizing that there were not many differences between each other's stories. Maybe someone was behind or someone was in front, but and I want you to move forward. So I feel that in the topic of reconnection, I feel that and how we can solve that would be amazing. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm coming across, but yeah, I'm Pape and I'm complete.
Hey, Pape. Yeah, so what I heard from you was about, and I'm just texting it in the thread right now, was about the power of going through the hero's journey, being able to work on it, individually, being able to share with it in the community and develop that. I think, but yeah, man, that's awesome and rad. The hero's journey is definitely a big part of design therapy, like fire as a whole. So yeah, thank you so much for that share. Adri, what's up, Adri?
I was going to say that I miss a lot some people that usually came to the calls, like Tom, and then Tom just show up. So it's nice that we are going to join the gang again, because that's what I also feel that we sometimes, in my case, I miss some people that was usually in the room with us. And I think sometimes also I feel disconnected of the human aspect that we were super nurturing, which our hero's journey, connecting and knowing that our differences also make us stronger. And I know that changes need to happen. I know that the state of the world requires things to move, but there's this essence that we hold as human beings that we really need belonging before anything other than just work or things that are moving. I know it's important, but the feeling of that I had at the beginning of belonging, that's what I want that to come back, and that magic thing that we were having there, because that's what connects us at the end. That's, for me at least, is important, and then everything else, it's possible because we learn from each other and we are willing to support each other and we have accountability for each other, and that's the magic of being humans in this world. So I think that's something that I sometimes start missing, but I know it's there. That's why I'm here. I know it's there, and this is a spaceship that I want to keep building inside and out. And I just feel that if we don't miss that, if we don't forget about that essence that holds us all together, in this spaceship, it's going to be easier to move wherever we want. So that's for me what I'm missing, and I hope to see more about that.
Very powerful, Andy. Thank you so much. And yeah, you know, that heartfelt connection. Used to feel so ooey and gooey leaving these sessions on Friday, right? We need to just build that up. Part of it is cadence, part of that is programming. And I think a big key component of that is giving you guys the opportunity to lead these conversations and these engagements, to hold space right alongside us. Thank you, Audrey. We've got Tom in the house. Tom, what's up, brother?
Yeah, hi everyone. It's been a long time, but I'm okay. I had actually a bad time in January and everything, but now I'm back at full speed. So I also noticed that the system a bit different, or more quiet and more working behind the scenes. And I also realized that this is really important to go to keep it rolling on the longer term, you know. So I've been doing it for myself also in the meanwhile. So I got a bit stuck there on a personal level, but it's cranking up again. So I have a new deadline for myself. So in 2 months it's my birthday. So that's gonna be a special day.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Yeah, and to address your concerns, yes. You know, the challenge that we have is there was so much that we were doing individually to really hold the communities together. And one of the keys of having a sustainable community is to decentralize the resources and the leadership and the opportunities here. So we needed to take a step back to figure out how can, for example, how can Accelerator graduates, how can Design THRPY graduates, how can Office Hour graduates, how can they lead the community so that we can keep the vibes high and not burn ourselves out and do it in a sustainable way. And it's a challenge.
Yeah, of course. But I also believe in, like, even after this while, there are still people coming back, so they know. So, yeah, they. How would I address this? Like the hardcore. It keeps coming or something.
Yeah, the hardcore fans. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the fanatics, man. Yeah. and that was a challenge too, man. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess when you hit a certain point that goes deep, there will be always a coming and going of people. And maybe it's like with friends, you know. And in life you have some friends coming and going, but some others you only hear once a year or something, but it's still the same connection. So and if the connection is the currency here, yeah, you know.
That's the truth, man. Yeah, man. I have friends, especially my friends that are overseas, and we don't see each other but for like a couple times a year, every other year. And every time we see each other, it's like, you know, it's like an atomic explosion. And then we go on and we're like, okay, cool. But you know, the friendship never ends. The connection never dies. It just grows and matures. It's better like wine. But yeah, Tom, thank you so much, brother. And next week we'll be doing some messaging. We're working on making sure that all of the folks in the Accelerator program start getting on board and start having the opportunity to join in the plannings and the next steps. So yeah, really happy to see you here, brother.
Yeah, all right. I am looking forward for that. So
Yeah, man. But yeah, guys. So let's see. What time is it now? It is 11:51. And what time are we supposed to go through?
12:30.
12:30. All right. So we've got about half an hour, guys. Let's keep the conversation going. I'd love to hear from some of the folks, new and old, and where you're at. Roxana, Mauricio, hey guys, how are you guys?
Yeah, goals for 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about our goals for 2022, guys. What are your guys' goals for 2022?
Can I say something about what I miss in design therapy?
Absolutely.
I felt like it was a place to breathe. So like basically an outlet where I could, unload all of the hardships that come with a creative job and the difficult situation. So because of that, there was a space where we could talk about tougher, subjects or sensitive subjects, and we could find support in each other. That does not mean I'm still looking forward for the same thing. So the connections and the love and the space where we can breathe and unload.
What I'm hearing, this was a place to breathe, it was space to talk about the hardships, the challenges of having difficult jobs, and sensitive subjects. It was a safe space. Safe space to be authentic as a creative. Thank you for that, Iwana. So Iwana, I'm gonna now pose to you a question back at you, which is, what is something in 2022 that is that you would like to achieve through design therapy?
That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's things that we can just help with as a whole,
There's
right?
something very tricky and that feels elusive to me. That means maintaining confidence in myself and what I'm capable of doing. And I've heard this from a lot of people, and it happens because of different reasons. So cultural aspects, the way you grew up. But if there are ways to grow that confidence and to be able to tap into it, I want to know how you do that, because then that helps me have a lot more momentum and trust in myself and trust that I could see things through to help other people as well.
Thank you for sharing, Iwana. We appreciate you. Pape, what's up, bro?
Yeah, thank you, Juana, for sharing that. And actually, on that note, something that I would love to achieve through design therapy is by sharing my experience and my journey, because somehow I've managed to discover some stuff internally through my story that have allowed me to actually reach that level of confidence that is not like I don't doubt myself, but I've got to a point where I trust myself enough to go through the dark times, and I know that there's always light on the other side. So despite the doubt and the fear, like I know that I know my story, I know my purpose, I know the challenges, I know I'm still getting to know myself, but I know enough about myself to be able to take a deep breath and just keep moving. And I feel that there's a lot that I can share on that side, and in ways that I've little gold nuggets that I found that made me cry every time I find them, and that I'm actually illustrating them and I put them into my work. They're there, and it's something that I would love to share here. And I would, it's actually my main purpose from now on, like, because I went from illustrator designer to strategies to, you know, I'm an artist and I tell stories, and I just want to be able to share them for all of us to grow, connect, and heal as society. That is the impact that I want to have culturally, and that is the impact that I would love to have in the community. So if I can share that, and by sharing my story and allowing others to share theirs, and helping synthesize it and put it into place so that we can all learn from it, that would be something that would make me so happy. But Ben, I'm complete.
That Pape, that was really awesome. And I'm sure everyone would have something that they could take away from your story, that they could learn from you. So yeah, man, thank you for stepping up, you know, into that role, leadership role, really. Thank you, thank you. Would anyone else like to share, you know, just goals for this year, you know, things that they missed, that they loved, things that they'd like to see? This is an awesome opportunity just to reconnect and to share.
I think Ryan is raising his hand.
Yeah, come on up, Ryan.
Yes, I'm raising my real hand instead of the digital one. Sorry, I went backwards there. Yeah, I've been thinking about some goals for 2021. Professional wise, I do have the goal of acquiring a few new clients, some in the strategy realm, and some in more towards the creative and execution realm. And I also have the goal of finishing up an NFT project that I've been working on, and hoping that some members of the community might be able to jump on board so we can do a project together. That's something that is a goal for this year as well. What Ioana and Pape were mentioning also was resonating with me about you know, how to stay motivated and how to you know, continue to push through. And as some of us who have you know, gone through certain things and we share our stories, you know, we've seen how it helps others in the past, and that's also something that I'm interested in doing as well. Is continuing to share some of the things that I've been through and how I've worked to overcome them, in the hopes that someone can glean something from that as well. And some of the obstacles are easy to overcome. It just requires a small shift in thinking. Others require a quite large shift in thinking. But you know, a lot of these obstacles can be overcome. And those of us who have removed, you know, obstacles, large and small, we do feel an obligation to kind of pass it on to others as well. Especially those of us who didn't really have someone to pass it on to us, and we kind of had to struggle to figure them out. So that's something that I do feel the responsibility of sharing with the community, to be able to you know, pay it forward per se.
Really dope, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, it seems like there's a couple of you guys that are like looking in how you guys can kind of pay it forward, at least hold the space and kind of help facilitate some of these awesome relationships. So it's awesome. Thank you for that, Brian. Floor is open, y'all. Jose, what's up?
It's been a pretty tough couple of months since November, and the process of the slowdown and of the taking a step back and doing a lot of the planning with the core group, and Patricia and Sergio and everyone who stepped up to take on leadership, yourself included, Keone, and all of us. It's been a test, right? Like, you know, it's part of the journey. I feel like if it's a one piece metaphor, this is like when the last 4 months have been, even though it was a slowdown, it's that part of the series where they're going up the mountain and then they're going back down and you don't know if the ship's going to make it. And that for me, you know, through Tom said it really well, like, you know, January was hard. You know, there's personal, you know, life things that are happening all at the same time. But at the other end, you know, once over the mountain, kind of you look back and the experience and there's still the connection. The big lesson that I've gotten out of it is not only the connection as the currency, is that you have to return to the default. You have to return to love. It's easy to work in a place of, I would say, it's not acceptance, but of judgment and of leveling, you know, between who the different people on the journey are, versus adjusting that view and saying, can you find the gift that every individual has in the process of the journey, and also with doing your own stories, with doing Fire, which is a lot of the people here did early in last year. So again, I'll repeat that. Instead of saying this person is X and it's different than, or better or worse than, you know, relative position to you, is just really acknowledging, accepting, finding what the gift is and sharpening that, so that now when you travel together, everyone is clear on what their superpower is. And that's a continual process, and one that what I hope for 2022 as a goal that we can make more real, which is, here's my gift. Here are the things that I struggle with, and people being authentic and transparent around the things that they don't do well. Because the tendency we have is to go into shame and retract instead of continuing and moving forward and being powerful. It's okay to be powerful and not be perfect. It's okay to be a broken king or queen. It's okay to be, you know, Luffy and just be a total kind of spaz. All those things are okay. In acceptance and in clarity of who we are and what our gifts are, we can then move together. And knowing that it's all par for the course, things are going to ebb and flow, relationships will start and end, but that we continue the journey and that we continue it together with those that resonate with us. That's my share.
Yeah. Thank you, Jose. You know, there's I'm trying to think of there is a Japanese art of taking a broken vase and then bringing it back together.
It's called kintsugi.
Kintsugi. Yeah. You know, and there's something beautiful in that concept, in that, you know, there is no such thing as a perfectness, or, you know, you're never perfect. You never have it all together. It's never the right time, right? These are all, you know, fallacies of expectation that society tends to tell us, that, you know, Disney movies tell us that, you know, all of these, you know, ideas and things that we consume tell us, like, oh yeah, it's got to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. The middle is always going to be messy. And as Jose says, it's not about better. It's not about closer. It's not about being top. It's just about being present. It's about being there. It's accepting all things as they are, and leading with your heart, and leading with authenticity, leading with your curiosities and your creative talents, and your inspirations. And not being held down by mistakes or regrets. It's part of the journey. You're supposed to have those things. So, yeah. Floor is open, y'all. We are going to be here till 12:30. So we've got about another 20 minutes. And yeah, floor is open. So we've got Iwana, and then Brian, you're up next.
Brian is first.
Brian first, and then Iwana.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on what you were saying, and also what Iwana was saying, that I was having a conversation not too long ago with some illustrators about why the use of texture was starting to come back in the last few years, and one of the things that we started to realize is that there was too much of the highlight reel going on in social media and communication and things. It was just a highlight reel. It's just a highlight reel. It was just only what was perfect, and there's a detachment from reality in that. Which is one of the reasons why it was important for us to kind of connect to what's real, which is not perfect, right? It's imperfect. That's kind of how we define what is real in life and what actually is meaningful for us. Is that the fact that it has imperfections, and so just kind of coming to a realization that not only in communications but also in sharing, we want to be able to not just share the highlight reels, our successes, but it's okay to be vulnerable, especially in a space like this where we're supported, and that can really empower us to, reach a different plane.
Yeah, Brian,
Thank you,
thank you
Brian.
for that. Really powerful, man. The vibes, y'all. The vibes are here. Iwana, and then Michael, and then we'll bring it home. We'll talk about our upload and music and no cookies. Go ahead, Iwana.
It's interesting that you brought up kintsugi, and why I knew right away what the name was is because it's one of my favorite concepts. Because from Eastern Europe, the very first thing that came into Romania that I found liberating were anime and Japanese culture. So I really dove into that thing. And I wanted to say that kintsugi is like a broken pot mended together with precious metal, that being gold or silver. And how I looked at the gold and silver is because of the lessons, the failures, and all the experiences that you can bring that pot together again and bring it new life. Meaning we are the vessel and we mend our imperfections with the precious metals. And thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, thank you for breaking that down. I remember the first time coming across that and just being bewildered and like, what am I looking at? Because this is beautiful and it's broken. Is that part of the design? Is that intentional? But yeah, such an awesome euphemism for the way that we should live our lives. Yeah, exactly. Michael, you're up next, and then Pape, you can take us home.
Okay. Well, my goals for this year are usually like three things, because I have like the art community in the mountains, and this is like the best run group that I've seen. So kind of like, oh, I can live anywhere and be part of this community. All I need to do is pick a place in the mountains to buy. So I'd like to identify a place like that, not necessarily buy it this year, so I can learn about the maintenance and so forth of it and the numbers. And then I do two types of art. I do impressionist art where I paint outdoors. So I said I was going to buy another easel and accessories and do like 5 paintings or larger, but I keep doing these smaller ones. And the surreal art that I do is related to the book Predators and Prey. So 24 pages of that, 100 units sold, 2,000 earned. But I really want to have it like a 100-page book, so I have to get subscribers to buy into like supporting each scenario. So I need to have these 3 access points that I can talk about later. That's it. Thank you.
Well, hey, I'm glad that you've got a plan and you've got a vision for 2022. So that's exciting. And yeah, man, we're here to support. So, share the ideas, share the challenges. That's why we're here, right? So thank you, Michael. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Pape, take us home, bro.
Thank you, Kenny. No, I wanted to share that in 2019, part of my journey when I go to Europe, that was my call to adventure. Going from the ordinary world to the call to adventure, going to Europe, not knowing who I really was and figuring stuff out. Then I came back to Panama and I started doing all of this drawing and art stuff that was actually helping me discover myself. And in 2019, when I went to Pictoplasma, I remember all of my illustrations were these vector perfect illustrations, like super sharp, flat colors, like really, really, really cool. I love them, but when I got there, it was like, yeah, but what's your story, man? And I had no story to tell. Like I had no story to tell. It was all like bling, 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 nothing on the inside. And it's so funny how now I really enjoy like not perfect illustrations. Like I go for texture, I go for the human, I go for the house tones. I'm researching like super old references, and I'm mostly like just being myself. So and it was really powerful going through the hero's journey and realizing that I have a voice and that I'm now using it to speak, not just verbally, but I can see it on my illustrations. And I some of you might have seen it. I share them on the Discord, but I'm so happy. And what I want to share with this is that I think everyone gets to a point where you just know, like you found that voice, you found yourself. You will keep discovering the journey, but it's the essence of who you are is just there, and it's just going through the cycle, and if you feel like you haven't find it yet, one day I hope it will all make sense. That's all I want to share. And if we can keep sharing each other's journey, I'm sure it will happen for you, because in 2020 I had no idea about this that I'm talking about. I had no idea how this felt. And by coming here and learning and sharing and crying, because we all cried here last year, and I hope there will be more tears of joy and of love. I hope everyone here can speak up these words that I'm speaking up now. So yeah, that's my wish as well for everyone. I'm Pape and I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
Oh man, Pape, that was beautiful, man. And thank you. Inspiring as always. And so here we go. We're out of here at 12:30. So as we like to end our sessions with an upload. So the upload for today is what is one thing? It's a lesson, it's an idea, it can be a moment of inspiration. What is one thing that you got out of today? And I'd love to hear from you guys. So feel free to jump on the stage. I'm gonna go ahead and post this in the chat so that you guys can see, and let's dive into this, and allow for me to model that for you guys. Let's do this. There we go. So yeah, what is one thing that I got from today, a lesson, an idea, or inspiration? For me, it's all of the little things collectively. Hearing about the experiences and the openness and how this is a safe space, hearing about the power of the fire kit that we put together and how it's been able to really help you guys manifest it and to express yourself as a creative more authentically. To hear about the power and the deep resonance that we have in our friendships. 4 months can go by and we can come back in and we can drop back in, and that connection is still there. The challenges of having a space like this in an ongoing place where we can come together and work together alongside each other. All of these things, really leave me with the faith and the belief that the work that we're doing here is real, that it's impactful, and that it's beneficial for you guys as a community. And that's special, and that's an honor to be in this position. I would have never thought when we started these sessions on a Friday that we would end up here. And now here we are, building a foundation so that we can take on more people, so that we can expand the community. And that's an honor. And I'm incredibly grateful, and that's my takeaway. And thank you guys all. And I'm gonna shut up now, but I would love to hear thoughts from anyone else.
I'll go because I'm very hungry. I want to do the upload and go eat something. So it's something that Jose said, that it's okay to be a broken king or queen, and what matters is that you show up and that you still keep going. And it ties beautifully within kintsugi, because it's okay if you're broken or if you see yourself as broken, because then you can infuse it with gold after you live more, experience more, and understand how to learn from what you do. And I pass it on to Mauricio.
Hi. Sorry, I was like passing from my phone to this. What was the question? I lost audio for the last minute.
Yeah, no problem. It's a one thing takeaway. So based on today's session, is there like an idea or a lesson or inspiration that you got out of today?
I'd say it was mentioned throughout the call several times, the whole idea of love and connection, and yeah, like reuniting and I read a comment, somebody talking about how you can like be vulnerable here. And I remember the first time I was in one of these calls like last year, not last year, the year before. And I remember, I don't remember what I said, but I remember immediately you, Keone, and Jose like jumping on the mic and asking me more and helping me, and like there was no like wrong thing I could say, you know. I felt immediately like, oh, I didn't even have core at the time. I was like, shit, I'm not supposed to be here. And it was really disarming and really nice. And I'm glad to see that that's kind of happening again. And that's it. Love y'all. Don't know who hasn't gone. You muted, Keone.
Love you, brother. Happy to have you back
Love
here.
you more.
Would anyone else like to share?
I'll go.
For a couple.
Okay. I think I took away the concept of the kintsugi, just to really, illustrate the fact that yes, we all have imperfections, we're all broken, and sometimes it's hard for us to put ourselves back together. And so, and what happens is a community like this becomes the precious metal that can bind us back together. And so that's what my takeaway is.
All right, Brian, and thank you, brother. I just want to big up a couple of folks in the chat. We've got Roxana. For her upload is to build strong relationships, and that's the foundation of everything. Michael, his is seeing this place and the people grow through great planning, great quality, and openness. Pape wants to know where he can buy your book at, by the way, Michael. Ginder, on the pulse, love and connection, and to be vulnerable. Super, super awesome. But yeah, guys, floor is open. We can take a couple more, and then music and no cookies.
For me, I think I really miss and I love our community so much, and this is what keeps me going to help out with producing and making this season happen. It's seeing all your lovely faces, and I know we're from different countries, different time zones, but whenever we have this space, it just feels so safe and with so much love and support that we haven't met each other yet in person, but we have this connection that we built during the pandemic, that I think that the past 2 years has been super tough for everyone, right? And I feel like if if weren't for this community, I don't know where I'll be personally. And that's my promise, and that with the great planning and as long as like I want this to continue, and I'll work hard to make it happen to support the community. So I love you all. That's it. I'm complete.
Love you too, Pat. And thank you. Anyone else? Anyone want to take us home before we shut down? Nothing on cookies?
Yeah, I'll go. Besides the fact of like the feeling of coming home, my biggest takeaway is finding like the peace or finding the beauty in the imperfection. It's something that I already gave to so many people as advice. But I'm in the process of making something for myself now, and now it's like always I want it perfect, but it's it doesn't have to be, because it will hold me back all the time. So so that's my takeaway for today. Thank you.
Oh man, what a perfect way to end it. I love that. The beauty of imperfection. It is the beauty. It is the ultimate beauty, because we're all imperfect, and so we're all unique in that way. So thank you for that, Tom. Alrighty, y'all. Let's just do a real quick wrap up. If you're catching this replay, we invite you to follow up with us and check us out. You can follow our DAO at We Are the System. You can follow myself for Jose or Mary at any of these handles, at Keone Chong, at Mary A. Gribbin, or at Jose Caballer. And just a real quick reminder, you guys, the schedule for the next couple of weeks, we're gonna alternate. So we're gonna do design therapy on one day, and then we're gonna do office hours on the other. So we're making sure that we take care of your heart and your brain, at least on a weekly basis. But yeah, guys, here we are, music and no cookies. We had some really chill vibes. We can end it with like some little bit of city funk. But yeah, guys, I am just, really excited for us here. And let's just hang and chill and enjoy this Friday, because it's Friday, y'all. Okay.
Happy Friday.
All right. What's going on? Spotify, you want to play?
Yes. Oh, I can. Did you do your outro? I can stop recording.
I have not done my outro yet.
No, stop recording. Now we can just popcorn it all.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Great stuff.
I missed this part of the calls because I used to stuff my face with stuff in the house. We have so much candy here. Like I'm
Where's
still
the
have the
candy drawer, dude?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's empty now. I'm recovering.
Where's your jam? No snacks.
I had to. Here we go. Jams are coming up right now. I don't know what's going on with Spotify.
So nice to see Tom, Jenna,
Go.
Christina. Oh my gosh, Michael. It's been a minute. Thank you for joining us. Papes. What are you eating, Pape? Beer? Nice.
These are the best chips in the world. It's mayonnaise chips.
That's mayonnaise? I have never had mayonnaise flavored chips. I have had ketchup flavored chips. Those are tasty. I had a ranch dressing flavored chip. Not like ranch flavored chips, ranch flavored chip. That wasn't so tasty. What other good ones are there? What other crazy flavors are there out there? What crazy snacks do you guys have in your countries? That's what I'd like to know. In Jamaica, we got gizzada, which is one of my favorites. So it's like coconut strips that are toasted with cinnamon and like a little pastry. Oh, I will demolish those. I will eat like 3 pounds of those, like shovel it into my mouth. But yeah, what about you, Tom?
In the
Sorry,
Hispanic countries. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
The weirdest snack we have is balut. It's a year-old duck. And then you dip it in vinegar and salt. They feel like it's not good, but yeah, it's a whole egg.
Yeah, it's like the partially mature egg that's and you gotta.
Yep.
I ate one for a bet, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore.
Exactly. Duck. It's a duck egg.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Tom, Brian, I interrupt.
No, it's okay. It was worth the interruption.
What about you, Brian? And then Tom, I'd love to hear.
No, I was just gonna say like a lot of the Hispanic countries, they have those just chilies, candy covered in chili, you know, and you have to go get through the chili in order to get to the candy, mango or pineapple or something in the middle. It's quite good, once you get past the chili death part.
Like, if you're in LA, any candy, you kind of got to expect some sort of spice or something going along with it. Like, you got to. It's necessary. Tom, what about you, man? What snacks do you have back there?
I think, yeah, Belgium is like famous for its chocolates and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this chocolates with something inside or something. But that's not really something I like. But yeah, I like chips. But I'm searching for something typical. I don't know.
You know, if I go to Belgium, I'm going to put on like 15 pounds because the only sweet that I have a sweet tooth for is chocolate. That's it. I don't care about cake or anything else. You know, candy. And I don't care about Tootsie Rolls. I don't care about Jolly Ranchers. No. But chocolate, oh boy. What's up? Papa, I had to bring you a little buddy to hang out with. We got Arce coming through. I'm just gonna tell you how to put on game about how to get this handkerchief so you get all the ladies.
Oh man, it's been a ride. It's going well, but it's a weird relationship, like taking care of him and allowing him to make better decisions. But I'm trying to learn a lot of dog training through YouTube, but I find it like I found now this amazing trainer where he allows me to let him just be himself. I'm not forcing him to be obedient and all of that. And actually it's improving. Today we went to the beach and he met some friends. So I think he's having fun.
Oh yeah, man. Raising a dog is very much like having a child. Raising a child. 1,000%. Co-parenting, 4-year-olds and 6-year-olds made me an incredibly patient dog owner. I'm like, oh, you gonna run in that puddle? Okay, go ahead. I'm not gonna trip out now. I'm just gonna hose you down before you get in the house. It's cool. I'm not gonna stress. Have your fun. Do your thing.
Yeah. So Keone,
yeah.
If I hear it right, you have kids. You have 2 kids.
I don't. My last girlfriend, we were together for a few years, and she had 2 children.
Okay. Yeah.
And so yeah, I was very involved in their lives. I was the soccer coach. I was the basketball coach. I was, the science parent that did all the rockets and the science experiments on Friday afternoons. Yeah, man, that was the dude that had the grill with all the secret adult drinks for all the dads. So whenever we had events, I'm like, hey, secret drink, go to the barbecue. But yeah, I went through it. I miss it, but it wasn't my time for my family. But soon enough, it'll be my time.
So now you're content with your one furry child.
I am content with my one furry child.
Archie is the cutest, so clingy.
Yeah, and he's a child. Like if I leave the house for more than like a few hours and like, you know, my roommate's not there or, you know, the cat's not there to play with him, he's, you know, he sits there and he cries for hours. And I'm like, oh, Archie. But yeah, Archie's the homie. That cat though. Look at my man just posted.
Yeah, my dog is in the living room, so now I have a virtual cat.
Are they friends? No, I'm kidding. Do they fight?
No,
Have
because
you
they-
seen?
The cat can
Have you seen
disappear.
the video? Have you seen the video of this judge that goes into this Zoom call like like in session, and he has this cat filter and he cannot take it away? Have you seen it?
Oh no, man! But I seen very bad videos in the pandemic about counselors and governments doing bad stuff in the camera, but not that one.
Yo, that's hilarious you brought that up. That was hilarious. I was watching a video, so I'm doing a lot of financial research lately. And one of the research that I was doing yesterday, I was diving into AMC, and you know, there's a whole economic, you know, investing strategy and stuff going behind AMC, because AMC was supposed to default, and the CEO had a meeting where he looked like, you know, from the chest up, he had a suit on and everything, and then he dropped his camera, and he just had underwear, so he showed up to the meeting. And he was sitting there and he's like, how do you feel about that? He goes, well, I was dressed appropriately, wasn't I?
Are you in your underwear now, Keone?
I am not. I'm in my pantalones. Yes.
That's like a indirect admission of guilt there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
There is one very funny that is a reporter of CNN, and the kids enter the door, and then enter like the mom chasing the kids, trying, because he was in a call with CNN live, and it was very funny.
Oh yeah, that's how I feel it sometimes with Archie. Like right when I started to get into like some good stuff, or like a meeting and we're like diving in, Archie will just run up on me and he's like, "Yeah, let's hang." I'm like, "Oh, back up." It's like if any of you guys get a chance to look up the Irish Prime Minister. The Irish Prime Minister basically goes and has all these speaking engagements. Ireland, yes, Irish, with his dog. So you'll see him having conversations and stuff with his meetings and doing all kinds of press conferences. And he's just got this big fluffy dog that just wants to play, and it's just sitting there, big goofy dude, like, "Hey, everybody, look at me." Oh, well, anyways, y'all, it's 12:34. We went a few minutes after. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys for all for your confidence and showing up in your truest selves. We'll have this next session in a couple of weeks. Next week will be our office hours. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. We love you, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Peace.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
That's Mao.
Bye.